I got good news for everybody that works in the service industry. Not only that, all of the digital soldiers that were out there from 2020 to 2021 to 2022 posting memes about Karens and everything. It's working. It's working. Now that I'm back in reality and I've come back from my Corona vacation, I can see it. And it happened clearly tonight. It was just one of those weird nights where everything was just strange, right? And same thing that I've seen because I've worked in the service industry for 20 plus years. The customer is not always right and they try to pull one over on you, right? So we had this Karen, right? She comes to the bar with this glass. She's like, "It's leaking, it's leaking, it's been leaking all night. It's leaked over my dresser, it's leaked everywhere. And I think it's a leak." So I grab the glass, I take it, I just throw it away, and I give her a plastic cup and I pour her wine in it. And I'm like, "Okay, well, sorry if that's a defective cup. I apologize for that. Here you go." And then she's like, "Well, I think I deserve a glass of wine because that glass was one of your glasses." I'm like, "One of my glasses? I don't know this glass. Uh, Glasses break all kinds of ways. I'm a bartender. Do you know how many times I've seen glasses just break in my hand, cut my hand, slice my fingers, do all kinds of crazy stuff?" And I'm like, "Here's plastic." And she wanted a free glass of wine. I'm like, "I got to approve this with the manager on duty, right? The manager." So I go up to the manager on duty. I go to him, and here's where the memes and codes and everything that we've been pumping out there as digital warriors and people online talking about this type of stuff, telling you that the customer is not always right, which back in the 80s, it was the customer is always right. No, they are not. No, the customer will play yo ass to like a fiddle, all right? So I go to him, I'm like, "Hey, man." He was like, tall, big white lady. And then this is where the code came in. A Karen. Yes, exactly. We knew exactly who she was. Boom. And he was like, "Is she walking around with that glass of wine?" I said, "Exactly." Boom. Karens. They exist. We didn't know Karens before the coronavirus. We kind of could put our fingers on it. We really couldn't push the button. But now us in the service industry know. And it turns out that that same woman has pissed off every front desk agent, and now she tried to hit the bartender. Do you see what I'm talking about? This is what I've been trying to talk about the whole time about this cabal that's going on. They just want to disrupt and disfuddle and meddle in everything. You know, they get there and it's not even about just getting there and no, it's about what can I get? How can I disrupt? How can I do this energy, this cloud that's been above us? And now we can see it. And through memes and through codes, we can see it now. And then I started seeing the front desk agents talk to me in memes and codes because they were like, excuse me. And then we had another of Karen melting down the same night, melting down because I don't know what. I didn't even know. All I knew is I had to go to the front desk to close out some checks I had because our system is down and I need the room charges. It was just one of those nights. And then I kept seeing Karens just crying and screaming and begging for glasses of wine and trying to convince me that they it's like knocking basically that they was like, "I knocked over my glass of wine. The hotel owes me a glass of wine because I paid for my room." It's like, "I'm sorry, no." But it was so funny because back in the day, a lot of times the manager on duty would be like, "Oh, just give her a glass of wine. This is that." No, there's no more of that. We're to the point now where we're like, "Hey, well, no, you just don't get a glass of wine because of that." You know, if we truly did an error in the computer system or something messed up, you deserve a glass of wine. But not just because you came down and your glass was leaking. And the funny part is I threw it in the trash. I was like, boom, here's plastic. I poured her wine. And then I had to literally put gloves on, go and dig into the trash now in front of all the guests, pull the glass out, and then I poured Coke in it, and it was leaking. But we didn't manufacture the glass. We bought the glass. And like I said, I've had glasses shatter in my hand, literally shatter in my hand, cut my fingers. And I had to put alcohol and then strips on it, heal my own hand. Dude, these hands have seen some things with some glassware. That's why you never put the glass in the ice. But it was just so funny and refreshing to see that the front desk had code words that we would use at the front desk talking about we got a Karen on our hands. Da, 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 da. It's like Code Brown in the pool. Somebody pooped in the pool. The memes are working, ladies and gentlemen. These people are waking up. I've worked in the industry 10 years ago. That lady would have got a free glass of wine, a room upgrade. Her mentality was winning. And she did look like a fourth grade teacher, which I've always said look like witches, just a little bit smarter, a little bit uh, in the know on how to manipulate society. It's like I said, sex magic and all this stuff. It's just mind manipulation. It's not real. It's just mind manipulation using certain things. And she tried it, and she was getting knocked back. And she was like, "Who is the general manager of this hotel?" I gave him his name, and then I just knew already when I went to the manager on duty. And I told her, and then he was like, "Well, what did you tell her?" And I told him the whole story. I said, "Well, she tried to get a glass of wine for free." I'm like, that's like knocking your glass of wine, over in your room and trying to come to the bar and get something for free. Why does the hotel owe you a glass of wine because you knocked it over? And you have to remember, people are on drugs. They're on prescription drugs. People are just whack a dude. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, it was just so funny to be able to go up to the front desk and see them be like, "We got a Karen on our hands. We got a Karen on our hands." And then I started thinking about Sleepy Joe. And then I started thinking about Let's Go Brandon. And then I started thinking about the conversations I've had with my coworkers that I worked with before the coronavirus, and how they would talk and how we would kiss the customer's ass. But at this time, we're starting to see through it. So, ladies and gentlemen, the memes are working. The jab, the juice, the Let's Go Brandon, the memes are working, and this is why they're falling. And it's just beautiful to see it, because for my 2-year Corona vacation, I was online and I said, I don't really want to make videos at first. I just want to comment, because with my commenting, I could be 20 places at the same time and influence more like that. And I'm not saying I did it. I just saying was a part of it. And now I'm starting to see it in reality, in real time, in 2022 of June. And it's a beautiful thing, because people are tired of it. They're tired of just being like, okay, we'll give you a glass of wine because you said this, because you did that. No, now it's like, oh, this Karen right here is trying to do all this. She hit every front desk agent and then finally made her way to the bar, and the whole entire crew saw through her whack ass agenda, just like we're seeing the left's agenda. It's the same thing. Some people hate life, all right? And that's the truth. And they want to disrupt and destroy things wherever they go, okay? And us who are awake, who enjoy things, who just want to make it through their 6, 7, 8 hour shift, have to deal with it. And this is why I've always said, I think every person should have to work in the service industry, which I mean restaurant, bar industry, so they can see what I'm talking about. How people try to manipulate for anything: a free coffee, a free glass of wine, a free meal. They will do this. My stepmom, Marilee Romero, Marilee White Romero from Bakersfield, did this my whole childhood. And this is her karma circling back on her. All right? With that being said, peace out.